In my last video, I started with the implementation of the mediator design pattern using the NuGet package mediator. It is a simple and extremely easy to use NuGet package for mediator design pattern. And as I mentioned in the last video, it provides implementation for request response, command queries, and notification. So for the purpose of adding this NuGet package, it comes with an extension method for the dependency injection, and it is called add mediator. This is the extension method. It takes a configuration, and using that configuration, we use this to register the assembly for using the mediator. And then after that, all we did is we went and created a weather message which implements the iRequest interface from the mediator with weather forecast model. And then we have an event handler which implements the iRequest handler, which gets the weather message as an input, as a request, and it returns the weather forecast. And here we are creating a weather forecast. And then finally in the controller, we use the mediator to send a message. And then the handler returned a response, which is nothing but the weather forecast. And then finally, we just used it. Now today, we are going to talk about the notification pattern implemented by the mediator. And for notification pattern, let's say once it works with the request response pattern, we want to do some logging. And instead of doing the logging using iLogger here, let's say hypothetically, we are just going to use a notification mechanism to send a notification. And this do not have to be standard application logging. It can be logging for audit trail. So every action that has been taken, we want to log that. And let's say for that, we are going to use a notification pattern. So to do that, what we can do is we can create a new class and we can call it, for example, audit. And this audit class, what it is going to do is it is going to implement the interface of iNotification. And the iNotification is part of the mediator namespace. And that's all it has to do. The iNotification interface do not have any classes that we need to implement. So all we have to do is we create an audit and we have here the iNotification. Now this can have some properties. So here we can declare, instead of ID, we can have string message. Let's say that's a property we have as a part of the audit model. Now for handling the audit notification, we can add a new class and we can name it as audit notification handler. And then this class is going to implement iNotification handler from mediator. And here for the input, it is going to use the audit as the model type. And then I'm going to implement the interface. And in the interface, you can see the handle method will give the audit here as an input parameter and then a cancellation token, and it returns a task. So for our case, what we can do is, just for simplicity, we can do a console.writeLine. And in the write line, we can just have notification.message that is set. And then finally, after that, we can just do a return task.completed task, because this method returns a task and we are not calling any asynchronous method, hence I'm just returning a completed task. So this is the notification handler. So now I'm going to put a breakpoint here, and then finally what we have to do is here, after we get the response, we can do await underscore mediator dot, and here we can use the publish to publish a notification, and as you can see that the publish method does not return anything. It returns a task, but as you can understand, task is just an empty task, so it's a void return type with a task. So we're going to do a publish, and in the publish we can do new audit, that's our class, and for the message we can say whether get trigger. That's about it. And now let's run this application. Now once the application is started, we can go and we can try out the weather forecast. And once we try, you can see that we got a call back to the handle method of the notification. And I'm going to just continue. And now we got a response. And if I go to the console, here you can see weather get triggered. The notification that we sent is getting executed here. Next, what we can do is we can go ahead here and create another class. So let's say apart from logging the audit into a database, we also want to do some other processing. So we can also have another class, and I'm just putting the class into the same file. Ideally, every class should have its own file, but just for simplicity, I'm putting it here. And here we can do audit notification processor. Let's say it is doing some sort of processing. This can also implement the same iNotification handler, and type will be audit. In this case, you can just do control.writeLine, and here you can just say processed and the message. And after that, similarly, we can just return task.completed task. Don't need this, I can just do this. Now here, technically these two code looks very similar. There is not much of a difference, but I'm just doing this to show that we can have multiple notification handler which can subscribe to the same notification and do different thing, just like any other notification pattern implementation. So now if I go ahead and run this application again and execute, this time I have got rid of the breakpoints, because I'm just going to execute this method and show the response in the console. So I'm going to go execute, and after it's executed, if I go to the console response, I can see the first notification handler printed the notification name, and the second one printed processed and the notification name as expected. So as you can see, it is extremely simple to use the notification design pattern using the iNotification interface for the model, which we have used here, and then iNotification handler for the notification handler classes. And we can have multiple notification handler for the same notification type. So there is the second part of the mediator that I wanted to cover for today's video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to this channel and you think you are getting value out of this channel, please subscribe to the channel And thanks so much for watching this video.